In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build an incredibly easy creeper farm. I made sure this farm uses the least amount of materials possible, and that those materials are all very easy to get. You will have two storage options to choose from. One that uses no redstone at all, it's only hoppers and chests, and another that is a very small, simple hopper minecart unloader. You can expect to get at least 600 gunpowder per hour with this farm, and I'll be showing you how it works so you can make it larger if you want to. The material list is included on screen for you now, and to make building the farm easier, I have included the world download, structure file, and holoprint pack link in the description down below. If you're looking to make a faster farm than this, I have a couple of other creeper farms that you can check out in my tutorial list. If you enjoy tutorials, guides, add-on coverage, and anything else related to Minecraft Bedrock Edition, tell YouTube by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel. Your first step is going to be picking a location, and your location can be practically anywhere that you want it to be in your world. It doesn't really matter outside of a mushroom biome, which is a biome that can't spawn any mobs. So if you're not inside of a mushroom biome, you're good to go. You can put this over water if you want to, but you don't have to. It's totally up to you. Now, the thing that is important though is where you actually put the farm in terms of its height, because the way mob spawning works on Bedrock Edition is mob spawning happens in a sphere. Pretend this is the player right here. Mobs will not spawn within 25 blocks of the player, but will spawn outside of that range. If you're on simulation distance 4, which if you don't know what simulation distance is, or you just leave it at default, 4 is the default. If you play on a realm, if you play on anything, 4 is always the default. So if you don't change that, then this is what you're dealing with right here. Mobs can spawn up to 44 blocks away from the player on simulation distance 4, which is what this red sphere is. If you're on simulation distance 6, that distance is 96 blocks, and if you're on simulation distance 8 or higher, that distance is 128 blocks. The reason this is important is because A, we will build our farm to fit within the top side of this range, and then B, it matters where we put our AFK spot where we're going to be sitting at the farm, because typically speaking, you do not want to build this thing at ground level because the sphere goes underground, and if mobs spawn underground, then they will block the spawns for the farm itself. Now, in this case, this spot right here is actually kind of funny. There's nothing right here underground except for a little bit of this cave. So mobs would spawn in here in this situation, but if I knew that and I found this little cave area, which doesn't look like it'd be easy to find because it's isolated, there'd be no way to find this without using spectator mode. But let's say I did find it, I could put down like buttons or slabs or even put down torches, and then that would block mobs from spawning in here, and I could put it at ground level if I wanted to. But most of you are going to want to put this in the air to avoid having to do that. So in that case, simulation distance 4, we're going to go up 44 blocks from this spot right here. And just to be safe, to account for anything like little parts that bump up in the air, we're going to actually make it about 50 blocks. All right, so we're at Y level 120, which is about 50 blocks up from the ground. This is going to be our starting point, and I want to mark the center of this area. Now, we actually don't have a 1 block center here. We're going to have a 4 block center. So we're going to mark the center just like this for right now. And then we need to make a platform that is 24 blocks across by 24 blocks across. So since we already have some blocks right here, what we're going to do is we're going to go out 11 in each direction from here. Next, we're going to mark both of our sides where our minecart is going to start and stop. They're going to start and stop on the same side of the platform. So here and here. One of these sides we may change though, just depending on how you want to do things. But first things first, we need to get our powered blocks laid out for where our rails are going to go. If you have access to a whole lot of redstone blocks, this is the easy way to do it. But if you don't have redstone blocks, you could take something like a lever and then pop it on the bottom side of all of these blocks, because all of these blocks going across here are going to be powered. I'm just going to take the easy route here and the route that helps you see this a little bit better, and I'm going to put redstone blocks. Now, I put these 6 blocks in, or I guess the 7th block in on each end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7th block. Same thing on this side, the 7th block. And I did them going in this direction intentionally because we have our starting and stopping point for our minecart in these 2 areas right here. Now, from one of your two starting and stopping spots, go ahead and put down a powered rail, and then regular rails all the way up till this spot right here. You can probably get away with 2 rails there just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put 3 because it's symmetrical and it makes me happy, but 2 should be fine. 1 is probably not going to be enough, so have at least 2 to get you a little bit extra boost. And we're just going to do this across this entire area. When we get to the edge, we're going to let that track curve around. We're going to place down our powered rails here, and we're basically going to create this zigzaggy, snaky type pattern with our rails, so our minecart can easily travel all the way around. Okay, so you should be at this point right here. We're going to talk about the collection of the items in just a moment. I'm going to give you a couple of options, but first I want to get the next platform set up above this. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark our center again, just like this. We're right above those rails right there, above the center we have now. And we're going to make a second platform the exact same size as the first. Okay, so next, once we have this platform up and ready, we need to go ahead and make ourselves a little AFK box right here in the center. This is where we're going to stand, anywhere within this area. And I've come up with a really interesting way for you to get in and out of here because it's not easy. I mean, you could technically, if you have a Elytra, you could fly in and out. That's fine. But let's say you don't have a Elytra. You want an easy way out. I'm going to put a trapdoor right here. And then when I open that trapdoor and then close it, I go into crawling mode. And I could just go out the side here, crawl out. Probably want to do it on the side that has all of the like the starting and stopping. And then you'll probably want a little like platform edge thingy over here. And then another trap door right here. And then from here, it could maybe be like your ladder or something, your scaffolding to get up and down. So when I want to get in the farm, I just come here. I close this trap door. I go across. Once I get here, I open this trap door. I jump and I click it, and now I'm back inside. Go ahead and put a roof on this thing too. That way, I mean, nothing should fall in on you, but just in case it does, we want to make sure that it doesn't.
Okay.
Also, we don't want anything spawning on this platform at all. So it won't spawn while we're sitting here, but it may spawn when we're in the area. So let's just make this spawn proof by just putting enough torches around to make sure nothing spawns on it. So next thing we're going to do is set up the collection system for the farm. So on whatever side you don't want the collection to be on, you just go ahead and put one of these guys down right here. And on the side that you do want the collection on, there is 2 options you can go with. I'm going to show you the super duper easy one, which means you will need no redstone for the whole farm. I don't count this as redstone. These are just rails and power. But you won't need any like redstone components at all for this. What we're going to do is we're going to knock out these 8 blocks on the side right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to put a temporary block here and put a double chest here, and however much storage you want here, depending on how much time you spend on AFKing. We'll do 5 double chests. You're gonna come to the back side here and put hoppers going all the way down one side of those, and then have hoppers going into there, hoppers going into here, and now you can just go ahead and put back down your regular rails across. That's it. If you want the super duper simple solution, 12 hoppers and some chests is all that you need. This will work fine. I do have another solution that only involves a tiny bit of redstone that I personally like a little bit better. Let me get rid of this real quick. Okay, now this second method, my preferred method, we're gonna go to the opposite side of where we put down the lever. This could be either side, but we're gonna go to this side. We're actually gonna take this out, and we are going to take that out too. We are going to go down and over to like this. We're going to place another temporary block right here. We're going to put a chest here, double chest, and we're going to have a few. This is going to be our storage here. So kind of the same as we did on the other side. So we have 5 double chests right there. Now we're going to run a hopper into the back of this one. We're going to face this hopper this direction, and we're going to face a hopper here into there. So we have a hopper going into this hopper. That hopper will have the stuff come down out of it and go into this hopper. And then we'll have hoppers into the back of these chests right here. Now we're going to put a temporary block here, any solid block right there. We need to put 2 powered rails right here. And actually this rail right here also needs to be a powered rail. So those 3 will be powered rails. We're going to put a block here, a temporary block here, a permanent block there, a temporary block here, a permanent block there. So your setup should look something like this. And now we only need 1 comparator, 1 torch, 1 redstone dust, and then finally 1 lever. So what will happen is when this hopper minecart that has stuff inside of it gets over here, these hoppers will start to suck some of the items in. See, they're pulling items from here. And then this comparator reads the items, that there's items inside of here. And as long as there's even 1 item in here, this torch is off, which means this redstone dust is off, which means this block is no longer powered, which means that these rails are turned off. Now, what happens when we get to the point where this is empty? Take some of this out. It's about to empty out. This comparator will turn off. That torch will turn on. That will turn on. That will turn on. And the cart will be on its way. Why the lever over here? Minecarts do have a tendency sometimes of stopping when you leave and come back into the area or when you log on and off. So if you want to prevent that from happening, flip the lever right here. And that minecart, if you're not using the farm, that minecart will just stop here. It'll stay there. Whenever you come back over to use the farm again, flip the lever back on and then get in there, AFK, and then again, you can come back over here and turn this off when you're not using it. If the minecart does get stuck though, you can easily just use this to get in here and just go give it a little nudge and it'll be back on its way. All right, next thing we need to do is we need to make our platforms above. So I'm gonna get rid of this and we're gonna go from right here. And we're gonna go up 25 blocks from this spot and 25. And we're gonna center this over top of the center of the farm there. So we have our little center here, and we're actually going to make this platform 6 by 6, which means we need to go out another 2 blocks in each direction. So once you have your 6 by 6 platform there, you're going to need to do one of 2 different things. The best thing to do is to get coral fans to put around the platforms that we put up here. Now, coral fans, they're pretty easy to get. You will need silk touch. But once you have silk touch, if you just go to water, I think it needs to be at least 2 blocks deep. Yeah, and start bone mealing. You will get some coral fans like this guy right here. And just bone meal around and you'll continue to get these coral fans appearing. And then you can use silk touch to get them up and collect them. Mobs actually think that they can walk on the coral fans for whatever reason. This is a acknowledged mechanic in the game, so they won't get rid of it. It's not a bug. It's meant to be this way. Mobs think that they can walk on the coral fans and they'll just fall down to their death, which is exactly what we want to happen. Now, there is an alternative you can use. You can use trapdoors, but there is one potential problem with the trapdoors. If I place these trapdoors down here, the mobs will pathfind around them and they will fall down, which is good. But the problem is mobs in the higher up layers that we do, when they fall down, they are likely to get caught on these trapdoors and then they'll wander around again before falling down again. The trapdoors can slow down your farm a little bit, so I prefer not to use them. I prefer the coral fans, but it's up to you guys and which one you want to use. The coral fans is going to be the way that we're going to go here in the tutorial though. So we're going to surround our platform with the coral fans. And then we are going to put pillars in the corner of the platform, just like this. On these, like not the corner, but one in from the corner. This is going to prevent spiders from spawning. Spiders require a 2x2 space to spawn centered on a block. So even if a spider tries to spawn right here, this block right here is in the way. It can't spawn there. It can't spawn. Now we're also going to put a roof on this. And then on the ceiling, we need to put buttons or trapdoors. Buttons are probably the easiest to do, cost less, so you can make them a lot easier. Word of advice, make sure you actually get the buttons everywhere. It's super easy to miss spots, so just double check each one that you do to make sure that you don't miss any locations. But the reason that we're using buttons here is because creepers are 1.75 blocks tall. They're not the full 2 blocks. But all of your other mobs that can spawn here are skeletons, witches, zombies. So putting these buttons here prevents those guys from spawning because their heads would intersect with the button, so the game doesn't let them spawn. The spawn fails. Creepers, though, their head comes just underneath the button right there, so the creepers can spawn in. This platform can only have creepers spawn. That is it. Now we're going to complete this platform on all sides, putting one here, 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 and here, and then putting ones in the corner. Let me show you what that looks like. And what you should end up with is this. You should have 3 platforms across by 3 platforms across. The 6x6 platforms we talked about, 1 block gap in between them. Now, we can take this and we can repeat it up a total of 5 extra times, meaning we would have 6 sets of these platforms going upwards. But the top platform that you make is going to have to be made out of bottom half slabs. Let me build this up and I'll show you what I mean. So here we are. We have 6 layers going up in our 3x3 platform layout. The top layer, I made bottom slabs. So, we have the bottom of the slab or the top of the slab. We have bottom slabs here. This is important because this will allow our top layer to be surface spawns, which will increase the rates of our farm by a little bit. It's good to have surface spawns here because we will get a little bit faster rates with this. Now, what we need to do is we need to make this thing dark. We don't want any light getting in here. That way mobs can spawn in daytime and mobs can spawn in the nighttime. So this will actually be super easy to do. All we got to do is come up to, we'll start at a corner. And what we want to do is go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks with leaves. This puts us 8 blocks above this block right here. So if we were starting from there, it'd be 8 blocks up. And then starting from here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks out. Do that on the other corner as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get rid of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now you want to basically like make this a big square. So from this corner right here to this other corner that we're going to make right here, from here to here, fill in a big square of leaves. And what you should end up with is this. The way mob spawning works is mobs require a light level of 0 if it's block light, but skylight, they require a light level of 7. With this leaf setup, the leaves block skylight, and the further the distance from those leaves that you get, the darker the area below it gets. So this will give us a 7 skylight level right here. And then as it goes down like deeper and deeper, your skylight level gets less and less. But mobs can now spawn anywhere on this, and we're ready to test our farm. So I can go ahead and get in here. You guys would have used the little trapdoor method, and I can put myself on, let me put it on hard mode real quick so we actually get mobs spawning. And if I sit down here, what we'll see here shortly is creepers. Yeah, there we go. Creepers will start falling, and we will get about 620 gunpowder per hour with this incredibly simple farm that we had. This thing costs very few materials to make, is very easy to build. The most tedious part is maybe placing the buttons in the ceilings or something. I don't know. It's not really that bad to build, honestly. And look, creepers are falling all over the place. We're getting constant gunpowder. So if you play in a world alone or even with other people and you need gunpowder for flying around or a little bit of TNT, or you have the ability to leave your console, PC, or phone AFK for long periods of time, you're going to get a ton of gunpowder from this, probably more than you ever need. And again, this is a pretty small, simple farm. Again, you can scale it up, or if you want to get a ton of gunpowder, over 3,000 gunpowder per hour, make sure you check out my super duper fast creeper farm. It's pretty high tech, but it's the fastest creeper farm in all of Bedrock Edition. Make sure you check that out. Thank you guys for watching so much here today. I do appreciate it. I'm going to let this thing collect some gunpowder, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.